Episode 20, The Love Languages, with your host, Dr. Nick Fanning.
Parenting in the 21st century is ever evolving, and while you balance work, kids, and your sanity, it's easy to feel discouraged. Welcome to the Super Parent Syndrome with your host, Dr. Nick Fanning.
Hello, my beautiful, brave parents out there. I want to again remind you, you are not alone. And here's the thing. I know that one of the most frustrating things that we have as a parent is our ability to communicate, or maybe our ability not to communicate, because there are times where it just seems like we're talking different languages when we're talking to our spouse or even our kids. And so that's what we're going to focus on today is actually what we call the 5 love languages. Now, this is from a book written by Gary Chapman. And I can't express enough to you how important it is for you to go and pick this book up. And it goes through and explains that people have or express love, but also like to receive love in one of 5 ways. And we always have our primary love language, but we also have a secondary love language we like to fall back to. Now, the 5 love languages are, physical touch. So massages, holding hands, cuddling, things like that. Of course, then you have your words of affirmation people that love to talk. You have your quality time people that just like really just spending time. It doesn't matter what you're doing, just spending time. Then we have the access service folks that really I like doing things for you. So I'll wash your car, or I'll cook dinner for you, or different things like that. And then last but certainly not least is our gifts of giving people, which they seem to always just find the perfect gift, or you kind of wonder like, you're always buying me stuff. I don't see the connection, and they have this totally cool connection that they come up with and be like, hey, it's because that one time we were at this one place and we saw this, and you'll be just amazed about how thoughtful they are as far as their gifts are giving. So those 5 love languages are also present in our children. They're present in our clients and also coworkers. And certainly if you have a team, it might be the best way that you can actually show appreciation for some of your teammates. And so again, I cannot express how important it really is if you're looking at taking your relationships up another level. So the importance of this is this. In my first marriage, my ex-wife, she was a quality time type person, okay? And I was an acts of service person, and I didn't really understand this whole love language thing. And so what it came down to is that, man, when she would like leave for the week or something like that, if she was doing an audit or something, I would actually clean the house completely. I would make sure I head to toe cleaned it, did all this other stuff, maybe went out of my way to organize some stuff or get the car taken care of or things like that. And I was all proud of myself. And then when she would get home, man, it seemed like she didn't even notice. And it led to a lot of frustrating parts on a lot of different ways because we were trying to communicate with totally 2 different ways of doing things. Well, as you can imagine, and fast forward to how things happen. Now, I can tell you that I've been able to use this approach for a lot of great things. So even my teammates, my staff, I have them fill out the love language quiz. And, I have staff members that are access service, or I have teammates that are quality time or words of affirmation. And the words of affirmation is really easy because, you put like those little Facebook blasts and say how lucky I am to have them as part of my team, or I send them cards. If they're physical touch, I'll buy them like a massage to be, to have, or, date night with their husband or whatever it might be. You can really personalize some of the rewards or ways that you can show them appreciation. And then just imagine what you can do, especially with your kids. Okay, now it almost seems like every kid loves gifts, but you might be surprised that sometimes you just inviting your kid to go along with you with an errand, if they're a quality time person, is huge. Or if they're in words of affirmation, really just to sit there and listen to them as they talk, or just compliment them or things like that, it can make a really big difference for that. And so the best news is that you can actually just Google the love languages, and you can take this quiz online for free. And it'll take you through a whole series of questions, so that way you can figure out what's going on there. So that's your homework for this week, folks, is that I want you to take the time to go online and actually fill out this quiz for yourself. You'll get bonus points if you actually have your spouse or maybe your children or some of your coworkers do it. And I got to say, if you're a manager or a boss, I can't express to you enough to make sure that your teammate or the people that you're overseeing take this quiz. Because imagine Here's the thing about employees and stuff like that. They cost a lot to replace. And then they say, can anybody be like 5 or 4 to 5 times their annual salary can actually cost you how much it's going to take to get rid of them and to also hire and train somebody else. That lost productivity. And so if you can keep your current employees happy or even working harder for you because you're creating an environment where they want to thrive and they want to make, the team do even better, man, that's going to be worth its weight in gold. So, whether it's, finding out if your employees just like having the, a little bit of quality time, so which means, hey, let's go out to lunch together. Or maybe it's physical touch and be like, hey, I got this massage gift certificate for you because you busted out all these great goals and you did a fantastic job. Or, they might be the person that you always high five as you're walking by. It can be something as simple as that. Quality or, physical touch does not have to be awkward because, hey, fist bumps, high fives, things like that can be so appreciative to these folks. Or if they're a fact that, they're more of a words of affirmation. Hey, those are those cards. That's those Facebook blasts where you kind of show appreciation there. Or if it's a gift to giving thing, it could be just as simple as like, hey, I was downstairs and I got you a coffee. I mean, it can be as simple as those little things, but once you know what their language is, you can certainly step it up a notch. And you can also figure that out even for some of your clients. Now, I'm not saying you should have your clients fill this out, but, what if you were in a position where that was part of the interview process as you kind of look at it, be like, hey, have you ever taken the love language quiz? I'm just kind of worried. How do you communicate best? And they may be like, what? Well, it depends on what kind of profession you have, but you may be in the, in that area where you can ask that question. Or if not, you can do your best to guess that, by striking up conversations like, hey, what are some of the things that you like to do on your own free time? That will often give away what they like to do. Some people like, well, I just like mowing the lawn, well, that might be seen as an acts of service for their family, or really they're just introvert and need that extra time. But either way, I want you to take your interpersonal relationships up a notch, and this is one of those easy ways of doing it. Okay, so again, go online, look up love languages, and if you can, grab the book, one for your kids or for your spouse or loved one, and be ready to make some awesome changes that it does not require a lot of extra effort, but it's going to be smarter effort, okay? Because you're already doing it. You just want to make sure that we actually go the right direction. Okay, so that's your homework. That's my challenge for you. And parents, I got to tell you, I'm so proud of you. There's a lot going on. I know you have to work. I know you have to raise kids. I know you have to make dinner. You have to clean the house. There is so much going on, and I just praise you for being here week after week, taking things up a notch, and I am so proud to be associated with you. So again, Dr. Nick Fanning here. Make sure you make a comment or share this episode with people. These are free to you. The only thing I ask is that when you've learned something that you can use, you spread that knowledge. Okay, well, Dr. Nick Fanning, signing off.
Thanks for listening to another episode of The Super Parent Syndrome. Please be sure to visit peptalksforparents.com for more content and our free newsletter. And remember, you are not alone.